Hey guys, Rusty here. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Cool, hey? Hey guys, Rusty over here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new Benthic Loot System that's coming in Rise of Azara and 8.2. Basically, I want to show you how it works, and also what are my thoughts on it. Can this fix Titanforging? The answer is no, but hey, it's a step in the right direction. We'll get back to that on later. So what is this system? Basically, this is going to be like they do in almost every other patch. This is going to be your catch-up system for your alts or anyone that's fallen behind on current expansion content. This is your catch-up system in terms of loot. So the way this works is you're going to be collecting a currency throughout Nazjatar, and they are called the Prismatic Mana Pearls. Now, initially, you're going to get an initial quest to start collecting these Mana Pearls. Basically, you're going to look for some treasures. This will start you off with 3 Mana Pearls. Now, I don't know all the exact sources for Mana Pearls, but the ones I've found are going to be mainly from World Quests. Basically, a World Quest should spawn with these Mana Pearls. Also, you could, after you're done with the initial quest, you could buy items to go and find more of these treasures. However, playing around the PTR, the treasures, they can also not drop the Mana Pearls. And to be honest with you, I couldn't re-find the treasures that did drop Mana Pearls, so I'm not 100% sure if it drops from those. The only confirmed source that I could find for you is going to be from the World Quest. I'd also imagine that Blizzard will eventually add on the mission tables. I'd imagine they would come from there. And also maybe you could get some from the treasure maps from the Island Expeditions. Again, those two, not confirmed. Those are just my guesses. Main source of them is going to come from the World Quest. Now, once you're, I'm not sure if rares drop them or not. They might. I could see them doing that. So once you have these Mana Pearls, you could spend them on Benthic gear. Now, you could buy these pieces of gear. You can buy them for every slot. So think of Azerite vendor from, not Azerite, what are they called? Argonite, I guess it was, from during 7.3 on Argus. You could buy these pieces of loot for every single slot. So we'll use the cloak, for example. You could buy a cloak. It starts at item level 385, I believe. After that, for 20 Mana Pearls, you can buy an Ajaran Pearling Kit. This is going to instantly upgrade the item to item level 400, which I believe is going to be the LFR item level equivalent to the new Rise of Azara, not Rise of Azara, the Eternal Palace raid. After that, you could buy Ajaran Pearling enchantment kits for 10 Prismatic Mana Pearls each. And what this does, this upgrades the item by 5 item levels for each one, up to an item level of 430. That's equivalent to heroic item level of the new Eternal Palace raid. Now, you could also buy Azerite gear from this, same thing. You would buy a 385 Azerite, upgrade it once to 400, and then you could buy the Ajaran Azerite Pearling enchantment, which upgrades it by 15 item levels each. Again, same thing, up to item level 430. So essentially, you could get best in slot just by doing these, the new Benthic Loot System. You don't need this in terms of heroic item level. Alright? You don't need to go, there's no reason to step into heroic to get your best in slot gear. Now, I'm not talking about someone who is in a mythic raiding guild. Obviously, they're going to have a higher base item level in mythic, and they're going to go get better gear in that instead. I'm talking about someone who's in a heroic guild or pugs heroic and only cares about gear. If I'm someone who only cares about gear and doesn't care about mythic at all, why, besides maybe trinkets, why would I step foot into the new Eternal Palace raid when I could just farm out these Prismatic Mana Pearls and just basically boost myself up to item level 430? That's insane. There is no reason besides trinkets. Not even Azerite, because you could also buy Azerite until you get your correct traits from this new system. There is no reason to go into the Eternal Palace right now, besides, again, maybe trinkets. Why am I going to step foot into heroic? There's no reason to. I could just keep buying these Benthic loot pieces until it rolls best in slot stats, and I could then upgrade it to heroic item level loot. So if you watch my Titanforging video, you know that I have 2 problems with Titanforging. And one of those problems is that the best loot in the game no longer comes from mythic raiding. Now, while this Benthic loot system is obviously not as good as a mythic raid piece of loot, it completely makes heroic and below completely irrelevant. I'm not going to repeat trinkets again, but you get the idea. It makes it completely irrelevant. I don't like it. I think the item level is way too high. I'm not sure what it should be. It should probably be around maybe LFR item level, is my opinion. I don't think it should completely invalidate normal and heroic rating. I think it's a little bit ridiculous. Now, I know I started off negative, but that's because I like to get the negative crap out of the way first. Besides this, I actually think this loot system, besides the item level, is amazing. If you watch my Titanforging video, I have a second problem with Titanforging, which is the fact that unless you get a maxed out Titanforged piece of loot, every single gear upgrade, it just feels like crap. It doesn't matter. It could be 5 item levels below max Titanforge, basically a really strong piece of loot. You're still going to feel bad because you're always going to be thinking to yourself, man, this could have been better. It could have been a max Titanforge piece of loot. This completely solves that problem, for the most part. Obviously, you still have other pieces of RNG, like the loot socket, the gem socket, tertiary stat. I'm not talking about that right now. We're just going to focus on the Titanforging piece. Now, in my Titanforging video, I put an idea out there that is very popular in the community right now, at least I feel it is, which is basically a deterministic way to counteract the randomness of Titanforging. Now, what this involves is, in my video, I suggested that there be a currency that lets you manually upgrade. Basically, think gear upgrades from Mop and Wad. And just imagine this currency is valid points. Lets you manually upgrade your gear to a max Titanforge. However, it can still Titanforge, so basically it gets there quicker. It keeps that excitement of Titanforging, that word that Blizzard likes to use, while also making you not feel bad. If you don't get a max Titanforge, hey, that's fine. I could eventually upgrade it to a max item level piece of loot. That's essentially what this system does. So the max item level for this is obviously, again, 430. Not Mythic Raid gear, but we're not worried about that right now. Max item level is 430. I am assuming that it can Titanforge. I have not bought a piece of gear yet that did Warforge or Titanforge, but hey, listen, every single fucking piece of loot in this game right now Titanforges. It's ridiculous. So if this doesn't, I mean, hey, listen, cool, but let's be honest, this is probably gonna Titanforge anyways, before I go off tangent again. So let's say I buy a piece of the Benthic Loot Stystem. It starts at 385. Let's say it gets a max Titanforge up to item level 430. Hey, cool, awesome, fantastic. It doesn't Titanforge at all. Let's say it's base 385. You know what? Fine. It's got my best in slot stats. 385 though, I don't care. I don't care. You know why? Because I could keep farming out these mana pearls. I could buy items. I could start with the Ajaran Pearling Kit for 20 mana pearls, upgrade it up to 400. I could buy the rest of the enchantment kits from there on, and eventually upgrade it all the way to 430. And there is gameplay surrounded behind that. I think it might not be the most fun gameplay, but there's something I have to do. It's more enjoyable this way, and I don't feel bad if I don't get a max Titanforge. Because again, I know to myself, or I know that I will eventually get this to a max item level piece of loot. 430, obviously not Mythic. Now, obviously, this loot system is not perfect. You still have a lot of randomness in this gear, like rolling your best in slot stats or Azerite traits, and then obviously you have the gem socket, like getting the tertiary stat you want, like leech or avoidance, not indestructible. I mean, seriously, if you don't have 600 gold to repair your gear, Jesus Christ, go run a water raid, dude. Anyways, it's not perfect. However, I truly think this loot system is a step in the right direction, and I very much applaud Blizzard for doing it. Nice job. Now, what do I want to see from this loot system? Essentially, I want to see it brought into raids. Let there be a currency that you farm in raids. Maybe let it drop off bosses. You spend this currency to upgrade your gear to a max Titanforge level, while also keeping Titanforging in the game. You still keep that excitement of getting gear, and you also have a deterministic way to counteract that gear. And obviously, I want to see professions being used to craft gem sockets and also your tertiary stats and all the other stuff. I truly feel this loot system is a step in the right direction. This is me giving Blizzard feedback. I mean, let's be honest, they're probably not going to watch this video, but hey, fuck it. I think this is a good loot system. I very much like it. I hope it goes well. Obviously, it does have the negative of making heroic and below completely irrelevant. Again, why am I going to step foot into heroic if I only care about loot? You might want to see some of the bosses. But even then, even if you just want to see some of the bosses, once you do the bosses once, like, why am I going to bother doing it again? Why? It's the same thing with Mythic. For me, I raid to kill the bosses. Once I'm done, I do not care to kill them again. Loot does not matter to me right now. It's Titanforging makes it completely irrelevant. It's basically the same thing with this loot system. It completely makes gear of heroic and below irrelevant. The item level is way too high. I think that is the only negative. However, the positive of it is huge. It completely kills the randomness of Titanforging. Alright? I think it is a good loot system. I hope it goes well. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much my opinion on loot system. It has one very big negative, which can easily be fixed just by turning down the item level a bit. However, the positive of it, again, adding that deterministic way to counteract Titanforging is huge, in my opinion. I love it. Anyways, guys, I do want to know what you think. Feel free to leave a comment below. Do you like the loot system? Do you hate the loot system? What do you like about it? What do you hate about it? All that crap, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. Feel free to give it a like and hit that red subscribe button. This is more of an old. Okay, hit the subscribe button. You get the idea. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!